to whoever watches this, probably me. This has held me back for a long time, making this battery box. So it's a quick explanation, probably useless, but here we are. We have the quadbike, the electric quadbike, all works, but is currently disconnected because I've been trying to skin it and give it some kind of outdoor life. So where I was at, I built this battery box, and this was hard work to make straight and bend and do all this. My skill with bending sheets is I have none of the tools to do it. I had a hammer, vice grips, wood, etc., and some hard metal corners. But anyway, these pieces I made up. It's one U section, same the other side, to be the size of the battery to hold it very tight. Now, that was a great idea if you think about just holding the battery tight, but the problem is it needs to work with this frame. I was going to make the battery holder and then make it a removable part of the quad, but now what I'm thinking of is have each battery pack removable, because there are 4 of these. Ignore this. I will explain that at some point. But a lot of power in these fuckers. Anyway, so basically, plan is remake this, but instead of doing bends and folds and everything, what I'm thinking of doing is completely scrapping that and going from this point here, where we have a difference in width. So if I line you up, obviously the box is fraction shorter than there, which if I go from here, so if I go from here to down here, then I end up with this big wedge gap. And if I use acrylic, this would then be, it might as well be the outer skin of the quad. So I don't want it to go sharp up like that. I'm just going to have it bolt through here. But I've changed my mind. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from here to here. Have this an internal part. Make a new skin, which we have the sheet metal for. So make a skin that goes in between there and is the odd shape of this section. Then I've got bolt hole. I can drill and mount and weld captive nuts to this whole section, which then becomes the sealing surface between the outside back and the inside of the battery, which obviously needs to stay dry. The front, something similar, where it just meets up here. And then I will heat form this acrylic sheeting that I've got to bend up and over the top of here. So this piece is the sealer of the side, and then the piece that goes on top will seal the falling water from whatever. Just keeps it all sealed that way. Then I've got this section in here, which is actually quite difficult to enclose. It slightly interferes, if you look at the shape of it, with the steering. Not by much. It's just something I need to put a dent in or something. So just allow room for that if I want to keep this bit sealed. Now the cavity in the top here has to be big enough for all of these wires, all of these balance wires, all of this, all the power cables, and if I can find it on my bench, this is the new larger one. That is the battery management system, which deals with the overcurrent, overcharge, overdischarge, etc., all programmable and Bluetoothed, so I can use my phone as the display. This was the original BMS that I had intended to use, and I would still love to. However, it is a part as a component in here. Which side are we here? No. I seem to have lost the... Which part failed? It was at the end of the fets. That one. So you can barely see it, but that piece there, it also got covered in metal dust because I was angle grinding too near it because I had a big move around. Cleaning, okay. So you can just see the carbon deposits from, let me zoom in. Figured it. So there, now you can kind of see it has quite fantastically popped, and as a result of that, whatever tiny component that is leading me to need to use the larger 32S BMS, and I've popped this open just to see, you know, what component that is, because obviously it's very hard to tell with that being blown up. Sorry for anyone that's finding this really boring, but anyone who can help, let me know if this ever goes anywhere. So anyway, I have to use the larger one, which means I've got to program it for 24 series, which that is 24 series, 4 parallel 24 series, but these are EV car batteries, so they are lithium ion, charged to 4.2, hold 4.2. I'm not entirely sure what they came out of. It was either a Honda Jazz or a Toyota Prius. I honestly have no idea if anyone's familiar with what these look like. They have been run and tested. They are good. Ignore this. These were just to power it up and have a go. I've had a good go. Done lots of drifting, got everything nice and hot to check that all the heat is, you know, dissipating. This is a QS 140 QS 140H. What else can I say? 90H? No, QS 140 90H, I believe. I can't remember. It has been. It was a while ago I bought that. So I'm pairing it with a Voltol EM 200SP, which is a 200 amp, and you can reprogram it to be well capable of, that's 72 volt nominal is how it comes, but you can get an output of basically whatever you want from it. You can go up voltages 96, 120, you can do some really stupid voltages, and it just counteracts and dials back the ampage. I mean, it's just, you could probably pump more amps through it at 120 volt, but you'll probably fry something, so can't say I recommend it. 100 volts seems a happy number. 100.8 DC. That's a hell of a lot. So I'm more than happy with it as it is. The batteries are the last thing to get warm. They don't really get hot, so they are a good match for this setup. They work very well. I have been followed at 70 miles an hour. So we know it's capable. We know it drifts. And if I was any good at wheelies, I'd do wheelies. I think I do have a stupid video of me doing donuts or something, so I will try and find that. I'm not an editor. Maybe I'll put that in the link in the description or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's where I'm at. We're going to take the battery out and see if we can't move forward with how we're keeping the battery in. But as I was saying about the battery management system, was all going to try and squeeze in here, but now I'd rather have the controller up top externally mounted so that it can dissipate as much heat in slow speed applications, because this is intended to be used, you know, high mileage, long distance road going unit. I want miles out of it, not necessarily just to mess around and do off-road stuff. Off-road stuff's good, but you know, a V5 and register this thing, which it was registered once, so it's not that hard. We'll get it on the road again. And getting an MOT as an electric vehicle, my understanding of the laws on that is that nothing particularly important needs taking into account, so it should pass an MOT as a quad bike, regardless of the power source. V5, I'll have to state that it is electric, as obviously the original motor is not with it, but this is essentially more powerful than the original motor by some degree. Right, that's about all I can say. I'll have a think about how I'm doing this, and then I will try and record what I can, but I'm just doing this off my phone, so just bear with me.